Welcome to Third Eye Roll, where ancient wisdom gets decoded, demystified, and occasionally roasted. I'm Dr. Justine Limos with Scarlett Trillia, here to serve up Vedic insights, spiritual real talk, and a healthy dose of side-eye. Each episode, we're diving into Vedic astrology, Ayurveda, Tantra, and the weird beauty of being human, with segments like cosmic, current events, story time with the Vedas and Shastras, WTF is that? And a mystic mic drop to leave you lit. No gurus, no fluff, just the good stuff.
Somehow. I mean, this is real.
Hello and welcome back to Third Eye Roll. I'm Dr. Justine Limos. I'm here with Scarlett Trillia, and today we're talking about Jupiter making his way into exaltation in Cancer. So what happens when Jupiter moves into Cancer? Let's talk about it.
I get so happy about this.
Aww.
Oh, so we haven't had Jupiter in sign of Cancer, which is sign of exaltation, since 2013.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, 2013-ish. Well, I'm trying to think what was going on back then.
Pre-pandemic, we were just kind of moving our way through life.
Actually, this is interesting. So this immediately makes it about me, but whatever. I'm doing some, let me use keywords for Jupiter exaltation in these upcoming months, during which time Jupiter will enter into Cancer and then actually retrograde out for a period of time, and then we'll come back later. But we get about 2 months of Jupiter in Cancer as a start. And in that time period, I'm slated for a lot of expansive things in my business life. And I'm just realizing that, so Jupiter, it takes about 12 years to return to a sign. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So it spends about 1 year in a given place in the sky. So some of the things that are really happening right now are on a 12-year cycle. I hadn't thought about it till we turned the podcast on.
For sure.
But that's how it goes.
I want to throw out that Obama wasn't president during the last Jupiter exaltation.
Interesting. That makes sense.
Yeah, right? Absolutely. Yeah. Something in my mouth. Excited.
Yeah. But yeah, when we talk about... Oh, go ahead. I was just going to...
Jupiter gets his most strength in Cancer. And so when Jupiter is exalted, and he exalts in Pushya nakshatra, which is the nurturing star, suddenly like this cosmic professor who's like so expansive and like, you know, theoretical almost and humanitarian, suddenly he's like cooking for you. And he's like wrapping you up in a blanket and he's asking you about your emotions and he's nurturing your emotions. Right?
Yeah. But that's not all that's happening. So it is nurturing, but it's also like, here are the Jupiter themes at magnitude.
That's right.
Like for example, we're a few degrees away from this transition, and obviously we're kind of starting to ramp up to it. Like I just sat through a 90-minute inaugural, my field is in pet care and AI technologies. And I just sat through an inaugural, kind of launch of an entire department that's concerned about the ethics of that topic.
So Jupiter.
Yeah. At the London School of Economics, which is like a top, educational institute. These are the kinds of things that we'll see are like think tanks. And like major academic endowments. And sorry, I took a moment to get my wheels turning here, but
that's all right.
educators coming to the forefront. Jupiter's also Karaka of children.
Right?
So
this is a really good time when let me just throw this out. When Jupiter is in exaltation, like make donations to children and children's like schools and charities and orphanages. This would be a great time for all those billionaires, millionaires out there who are looking to divest to throw it into education. Put it into the children. Yeah.
I was actually just joking with a friend. So it's funny all of us are experiencing these things all the times, and all that we're doing like on this podcast is we're helping with pattern recognition, but we're all experiencing this stuff. So here's another pattern recognition nugget. A friend and I were just joking that we should start a Montessori school. Like these are the kinds of conversations.
Very, very, very. And also Montessori itself, like we should look at Montessori, Maria Montessori's chart to see where her Jupiter is, because, like the whole child-led education and following the child is very Jupiterian.
It's very Jupiterian. Yeah. And, I had another one that just happened. Oh, well, I was thinking back to the last, the 12-year cycle of this. And it was at this time, I'd have to check the actual dates, but I provided care to a Nobel laureate who was a professor emeritus at UC Berkeley, and he would have died in Jupiter exaltation, and he was a tenured professor for 60 years.
Absolutely.
Like these are the kinds of themes, like people like honorary PhDs being awarded.
Absolutely.
These kinds of
I
themes.
think we could see like youth and children really stepping into the forefront and speaking knowledge, like that, like voice of the youth being able to speak wisdom to the elders during this time period.
How old is Greta? What's her name? Greta Thunberg?
Greta Thunberg?
Thunberg?
She's in her 20s now, I think.
Is she 24? Because that would give her exalted Jupiter. She probably has exalted Jupiter in her chart.
Yeah, I would imagine. Let me go ahead and I think when she was talking to the United Nations and all of that, that she was that it was during that period of Jupiter exaltation. I'll take a look. She was born in 2003. You're better at those calculations than I am off the top of your head.
So she's 22-ish. Actually, depending on retrograde cycles, she well.
I've got her chart. She has got exalted Jupiter in Cancer. It's in Ashlesha, so it's not exactly at the point of exaltation, but it is absolutely an exaltation. She Cancer, also has Sun in Sagittarius, who is Jupiter sign, Moon in Sagittarius also. So she's got all of this massive Jupiterian energy that she is just bringing to the forefront. And I'm going to also check because I'm wondering of when really good example.
Right. You like how I intuitively knew that was going to be the person. Yeah.
I want to find out the years when she spoke to the UN, because that would also be a great example of this Jupiter exaltation. So, 2019. So not when Jupiter was in exaltation.
Yeah, but she carries that in her chart. And I would be willing to wager a bet that it was around her 12th-ish birthday that she started to discover that this was her calling.
Well, that's when she set up her vigil in front of the political office in, is it the Netherlands? I have to double check, where she basically like sat there and she wouldn't go to school. She was like, school strike for climate. No, I'm not doing this. Yeah.
And this speaks also to the nurturing aspect of sign of Cancer, where Jupiter gets all of this exalted strength. It's actually not even strength; it's light. It's luminosity, where Jupiter shines the brightest. And Cancer is the natural fourth house of home and mother. So it's like we're talking about Mother Earth, where we all live, right? And then you get people with this placement who genuinely are willing to dedicate their life to, collective nurturing and through education on Earth. It's really beautiful.
It is very beautiful. Sweden. Yeah. She's Swedish. I just wanted to correct myself. Yeah.
Okay.
So good example of exalted Jupiterian energy, which is what we're going into. So, it gives us some hope.
It is. It's a hopeful time. And just to remind everyone that we get about 2 months of Jupiter just touching into Cancer, not into Pushya yet. But what's the first nakshatra that it will be in? Is it Punarvasu?
Ashlesha.
Oh, Ashlesha first, then Pushya. No, Ashlesha is last.
No, I've got it backwards in my mind. Punarvasu, then Pushya, then Ashlesha.
So Purnavasu itself is ruled by Jupiter. So correct. Jupiter being in the early degrees of Cancer is super Jupiter, and then is going to retrograde all the way back through Gemini, and then move in forward motion all the way back through Gemini. So we're going to have a bit of a rewind on the last period of time, and then we get about a full year of Jupiter being in that Cancer place. So this is going to feel really nice. This is kind of the
really
boon.
Nice.
Yeah. And it's a lot of water energy with Saturn. So Saturn will finish a retrograde cycle in Pisces all the way down to first degree, and then turn direct and spend another 2 years in water sign of Pisces. And Jupiter will spend an entire year water sign of Cancer. And this is all lining up as we'll be moving through Scorpio stellium season. So there's a lot of water energy. I know as we were getting ready for this podcast, as usual, I didn't do any research or preparation, but I was kind of, why would we do that? We already know this stuff. But I was kind of just sitting here like, it's the ocean. It's like the vast cosmic ocean is really, and this is very cleansing at a time when, we need exalted Jupiter people at this time.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
babies being born in this period. This is exciting. Again, not quite yet. I haven't checked the dates that Jupiter will kind of quote unquote permanently enter Cancer without retrograding out. But yeah, lovely season all around.
Well, and let's see, of course, there's other mitigating factors. We've got a few other things going on with like Ketu moving through Leo, and I don't know that I don't want to paint this as all flowers and, love and light, and that everything is going to be perfect because Jupiter is moving into his point of exaltation, right? We want to avoid that. It's not like we're going to have a massive peace, love revolution on the earth right now, this moment.
No, but we actually already kind of set up an example of how this can play out in reality. So we have about another year of Rahu transiting Aquarius while Ketu transits Leo, and Leo and Jupiter will actually probably cross in Cancer. We'll have to look at the chart, but that's interesting. That's also very interesting energy. But so the example I gave of this academic symposium for AI protection in non-human species is happening at a time when
I love it. Non-human species. So
non-human species. And with Rahu, we've talked about this. Rahu transiting Aquarius is huge leap forward in AI technologies. We're seeing that happen in real time. The only planet that's capable of mitigating Rahu's shadow nature is Jupiter. So getting Jupiter in exaltation while Rahu is in Aquarius would result in a whole bunch of academics and very generous donors coming together to ensure the safety of animals from runaway AI tech applications. That's exactly how this works.
Saturn is going to go during this season. Saturn will be in Revati, who is the shepherd, who the deity is Pushan, he who takes care of animals. We're going to see animals really come to the forefront as we move deeper into 2026. Jupiter's still in Cancer because it's retrograded back and then going forward. And I'm looking for that moment when we were talking about when Jupiter and Ketu exchange, and it's going to happen in November, October, late October. Here it is coming at me of 2026.
That'll be an interesting time.
That'll be a really interesting time because Mars will, it comes early. No, they go both into Leo. That'll be interesting. And then they switch places mid-November 2026. So look for some massive changes in leadership at that time.
I was going to say we're going to see some political turnover at that time.
Absolutely.
Obviously. But maybe should we talk a little bit more? Well, okay, there was one thing I wanted to mention as we're talking about Jupiter. And obviously I have a really strong personal relationship with Jupiter myself. So yes, I do. If you hadn't caught on. But I mentioned that Jupiter would enter Pisces in his own nakshatra. So Jupiter rules over Punarvasu, which crosses Gemini to Cancer, Vishakha, which crosses Libra to Scorpio, and Purvabhadrapada, which crosses Aquarius to Pisces. We just had this solar eclipse in Punarvasu in Jupiter's third nakshatra. And I'm saying that because if you want to go back and listen for more context,
please do.
The point of bringing this up is that while we are describing Jupiter as he is the grand benefic, the great luminary, the great teacher, the protector, father, all of these things.
Guru to the god.
Literally, his name is Guru. He is the teacher and the remover of darkness. I mean, all of these beautiful things. Jupiter's nakshatras are fierce.
They're very fierce.
They are fierce nakshatras.
Let's talk about each one. So Punarvasu, which bridges between Gemini into Cancer, is the return of the light. And the deity here is Aditi, who is the first goddess, the primal one, the first one. And the symbol is a quiver with endless arrows. So this is very, very fierce energy of imagine you have a quiver that you just pull out arrow and you pull out arrow and you pull out arrow and you pull out arrow and it never ends. And it's the star of renewal is the Shakti of this star.
And we all know that you gotta die to be reborn. A renewal is not a love and light process. It's a destruction and reemergence, right? Yeah. Interesting, just as a note, that Jupiter's Mula Trikona house is Sagittarius, which is also symbolized by an archer. So there is this theme of archery, arrows, quivers, bullseye energy to a certain extent.
Yeah, and of the aiming the arrow towards something and towards like higher aspirations, and also the arrow of truth that we're aiming it towards something.
Similar to the lightning bolt that resides over Purvabhadrapada. But let's go in order because we have Punarvasu, then Vishakha. Actually, we talked about
Punarvasu, I think, is female cat yoni.
Probably. I'd have to check that out. Yeah.
Marjara. So I believe it's female cats. So that very it's cozy, but it's also incredibly fierce.
Sharp nails.
Yes, sharp nails.
It has claws.
Yeah. And so the next of the Jupiter star signs is, and it's another, it's Vishakha. And this is the star that is the forked tree and the triumphal archway. So this is also a nakshatra that's associated with Indra, the king of the gods, and with Agni, the fire of the gods, or just fire itself, which can create and which can destroy, right? So another very fierce nakshatra associated with Jupiter. Anything else you want to say about Vishakha?
Just that we touched on thresholds.
I know what I want to say.
You go ahead.
On what? Did we?
Well, in our, I think it was our last episode, and we were talking about thresholds. If you're in the threshold, you're already in it, right? And we were talking about that in the context of Vishakha and how actually during this brief initial period of Jupiter entering into Cancer is when we will have all the planets parading through Vishakha nakshatra into the fall. So that's kind of a fun, I'm just adding on to what we talked about last time. And then just to reiterate, we just had this solar eclipse it was the lunar eclipse. I'm misspeaking.
The lunar eclipse.
It was the beginning of the eclipse cycle was the total lunar eclipse in Purvabhadrapada, when we were talking about strike of lightning, sudden Kundalini rising, kind of this penetrating force, also this one-legged goat, Ekapada.
So Vishakha, just to circle back so we don't lose the thread, the power is the power to attain various fruits in life. And also, Vishakha is a male tiger. So we have female cat, Punarvasu energy, and then we have it evolve into male tiger energy. So again, this very, very fierce energy that is like, it doesn't, when one thinks about Jupiter, we don't necessarily think about this very fierce energy. However, the guru, that which is guiding us to the light, has to be pretty damn fierce to do its job.
Well, and remember, guru is, if in a literal translation, not guiding us to the light, but cutting away the darkness.
Yes, exactly.
Removing the darkness. There is a fierceness behind that. That's actually very similar to the energy, say, of goddess Kali.
Yes.
For example.
Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly. Where it's like,
or, so the third, and this is like interesting because I had to look it up because I'm in the process of memorizing the Yoni Nakshatra animals right now. And they have a lot of wisdom to give to us. You know, every time we study the nakshatras, we learn a little bit more. And every nakshatra has a deity, it has a planetary ruler, it has a shakti or power, and it has an animal, it has a tree. Healing trees are associated and herbs with each nakshatra, a symbol or symbols. So the third of the Jupiter nakshatras is Purvabhadrapada, which we talked about in earlier podcast. The Shakti here is the Shakti is the power to raise a spiritual person up in life. And this is a very fierce nakshatra. Again, it's associated with Kundalini, and the animal is a male lion. So we have female cat, male tiger, and I'm going to double check that it's female cat. It could be male cat. Female tiger, male tiger and male lion. It's all feline energy here, which of course the felines are also associated with goddess Durga.
Absolutely they are. And there's a reminder goddess Kali and Durga come from the same source, and Chamundi.
Yes, precisely.
And
so what
Durga
do we have
has,
for?
I would say quite a lot of weaponry in all of these.
Wow! Oh yes, she
quite
does.
A lot of weaponry. Oh yeah, Viche, the big sword to cut through ignorance and ego, which is how you get the light out, right?
And it's also interesting because Aditi, who is the planetary ruler of the first of the Jupiterian nakshatras, you know, she's the primal goddess.
Of course she is.
Yeah. So what do you got for music, fashion, and movie for Jupiter moving into exaltation? And do we want to make any prediction?
Well, I think we kind of made our prediction with the animal part. And so one of the examples that they gave on this panel that I literally just listened to this. Well, no, like the last few hours, it's like getting ready for, I hadn't added this up, but it was like I listened to this 90-minute symposium, and then I had a business meeting, which when you take the long view was really seated in some ways in the last cycle of Jupiter exaltation over 12 years ago. And here it is. It's like, this is how we see things develop. And we've done this in previous podcasts. Each planet has a return cycle. Saturn is 30 years, Rahu Ketu is 18 years, Jupiter is 12. Those are the slowest moving four. And when we look at things in those what did we call intervals? Then we can really start to see these long-term patterns in our lives and in our culture and society. But I think that those predictions are like, we may see more energy coming from Greta, for example. I've never said her name out loud until today, which is why I don't know how to pronounce her last name. I know how to read it. But we may see more of her or more people like her coming to the forefront.
I think so.
One of the examples that they gave as a sign of progress on this panel was and you'll laugh, this is a bit of an inside joke, the banishing of octopus farms. Right?
Wow.
Yeah.
We should definitely banish octopus farms.
We should definitely banish octopus. There is no reason. There's no reason for that.
No reason why we should be farming octopi. Not cool.
And the premise on which it was made illegal, at least in the nation that I'm in, I can't speak for the rest of the world, is that these are highly sentient, highly intelligent, highly capable of violence beings that do not and should not be in close quarters with one another.
But have their own whole evolutionary pattern, tree. Like they're as close to alien as we got, kind of.
Some people actually think that they are of alien origin. Yeah, yes. Which doesn't sound weird to me at all.
Doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me.
It just feels like that's probably what that is. That's an alien.
Oh, fashion.
So fashion. So there's a meme.
This reminds me of when my kid was really little. I mean, they were like before school age, and they got it in their head for Halloween at one point that they were going to be an octopus-alien. So I dressed them up as octopus-alien. I have a picture somewhere, and I don't know how they got it in their mind. They were like 3 years old. They were like, yeah, I'm being an octopus-alien for Halloween. They didn't have a book about octopus-alien. They didn't watch any TV, and they were octopus-aliens, Cthulhu, of H.P. Lovecraft.
Yeah, and
that's my fashion pick. Octopus-alien.
Octopus-alien Halloween costume is really good. I mean, if there was ever a time to revive this, it would be this Halloween.
Yes.
Just saying. Yes, this would be the time. This would be the time.
Yes.
I've got to go. There's a few classic memes and like viral videos that have circulated the internet for years. One of them is like I think we've even talked about this, like a very jolly sized man wearing a very bright yellow 3-piece suit, like kind of peeking out from behind a tree. And it's that very bright yellow suit. Jupiter's color is like yellow saffron, like kind of saffron yellow, and yellow sapphire is the gem for this planet. So like that man, and then there's a video of a man. Is it the same person also wearing an incredible yellow suit? Oh, do you know who it is? It's the man in the yellow hat from Curious George.
He's skinny though. The only problem is that he's skinny.
Yeah, he's kind of skinny. Jupiter is not a skinny energy, but that yellow hat energy is strong.
That is strong.
That is strong. But Jupiter's appearance is...
And the monkey, Curious George could be Rahu, like running around.
Totally. It's the monkey mind. And the man in the yellow hat is Jupiter there to calm it down.
We'll just erase all the colonial vibes and like all the racism in those books.
Yeah.
I mean, we just have to use examples that we have. We just can't be responsible for everything. Don't cancel us because we referred to man in the yellow hat.
Yeah, it was really just a reference to the yellow hat mostly. And
yes.
Let me see now if I can find something that's a little bit more contemporary and appropriate.
It's like, it's something that's very like lush and nurturing, but also like cozy.
You know what I just bought?
I do not.
Which I wasn't thinking about this transit, obviously, when I made this purchasing decision, but I needed a new, like bathrobe or dressing gown. And the one that I had was the same color as this pillow behind my
dressing gown.
I am in Britain right now, and I was raised by British people.
You are. I like it.
Yes. I didn't know that a dressing gown wasn't what it was called until I was like, an adult, and then I adapted, and then I moved back to England. So here we are. So
wait, wait, I need some clarification.
Well, Americans say bathrobe, don't they?
I think so. Is that the same as a dressing gown?
So far as I am aware.
Okay. That's information to me. I like it.
I don't know. So the one I threw, I had to throw one away because it had Abhyanga oil to a disgusting extent, had ruined it. It was the color of this pillow, which is like Jupiter's color. And I now realize that I replaced it with a larger, cozier, fluffier, more comfortable, more cozy, more sign of Cancer-ish, also yellow robe, which I kind of wish I was wearing now that I mentioned it.
I kind of wish you were wearing it right now, too.
It has a hood. I could put it on.
Well, don't bother yourself, dear.
But you can use your imagination. That's probably my pick. I clearly made this decision to buy this for this transit.
The yellow hat, please.
With the yellow hat?
Yeah.
No, it has a hood.
Well, you can hood and hat.
I could wear a yellow hat. Yes, I could. I happen to own many yellow things because
yes, you do.
Yes, I do. So fashion movie music pick.
Music.
The music to me feels like what it feels like is the conductor of a school band that like becomes famous. You know what I've seen a lot of references to lately are Sister Act 2.
Yeah, it like got re-released or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that kind of fits. Like yeah, like you.
I think Dead Poet Society is really. I
was gonna say, yeah. Oh, yeah. I wasn't thinking Sister Act 2 for the movie, but more for the music of like the choral director, you know, or like the band of young people that's held together by the like, you know, whatever the teacher who has the group of students forever and ever kind of thing. But yeah, Dead Poet Society was also on my mind. Or could it be like Good Will Hunting?
It could be Good Will Hunting. It could be Dead Poet Society. Either of those is very good.
It could be. Why is this going through my head? Free Willy?
I don't know. Why is it? I mean, it's definitely ocean vibes. And that's got like a big,
Vishakha that jumps and makes like a Vishakha arc. And it's like, no, the movie, there's, sorry. It's Free Willy. It's Michael Jackson.
Like
Actually, I just watched Quincy Jones documentary. Quincy Jones has probably a very interesting chart, but there is a Jupiterian aspect to writing music designed for many musicians to play together.
Orchestral music.
Orchestral music. I mean, think about it. He was writing for Frank Sinatra, right? In the 50s and 60s and all the way through to nearly present day. I mean, he made it into the 21st century. Massive, long career. And as he gained fame and success, he's really responsible for like the phenomenal success of like Michael Jackson, for example. So there's something there. I know that's not a music genre, but, you know, it's like a multi-genre, but that kind of person. There's something about the like conductor energy.
Or the music producer who produces like many famous folk, you know, like those producers who produce one genre and they do it really well. And they guide all of these musicians into stardom and guide their career and their album making. Something like that.
Something like that. For movie, I know we had some kind of funny examples. It would be the same thing. Like, there's got to be, I'm sure people are like calling out way better stuff than I'm thinking of right now as they listen to this. But any example of like that kind of unexpected teacher, or even even a story of a very strong, successful bond between a father and a child.
Yeah, for sure.
And they're kind
of Let's pick the road.
Yeah, something like that.
It's kind of timely.
Yeah.
And this Jupiter in exaltation might feel like that, like this hope, like when they finally make it to safety and they drink Coca-Cola, and they're like, oh my God, what is this wonderful thing? And this Jupiter moving into exaltation may feel like this light in the dark right now.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it quite literally is that.
Yes.
This transit will be a beautiful time to observe Jupiter in the sky itself.
Yes.
Because it will be very bright.
Yes.
Hmm.
All right. We got a movie.
What about music?
Fashion.
We got the music. Fashion. Okay. Fashion of the bathrobe.
I'm not sure why I say this also, but I think Aretha would be music pick for Jupiter in Cancer.
Aretha Franklin, like Bridge Over Troubled Water. That
or like Natural Woman, or like just any of her like beautiful, or her gospel, because there is this like religiosity to Jupiter while he maintains while he's having fun.
Mm-hmm. No, that's true. Do we have a myth?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So once upon a time, long, long ago and far, far away, Indra, who's the king of the gods, who is also the the deity ruler of Vishakha nakshatra, also relates to Jesta, but that's a different story. He's living, in his palace in the clouds, and, he has his thunderbolts. Indra is very much similar to the Zeus archetype. And one day he gets very, very drunk on his own power, and he forgets this basic etiquette, which is when your teacher enters the room, you stand up and you bow, you honor the teacher. And so when Jupiter, Bṛhaspati, the guru of the gods, walks into Indra's celestial court, he doesn't even lift his eyes. He just lounges on his throne, and Bṛhaspati, seeing this arrogance, turns and leaves. He doesn't scold. He doesn't get angry. He just walks away. But the moment he leaves, and this is very Jupiterian. I grew up with a parent with Jupiter in own sign in 7th house, and in 7th, and this parent would never yell, would never scold, would never get angry. He would just remove attention. This is very like Jupiterian, like very wise in terms of teaching. So he just turns around and he leaves. And the shield of wisdom that surrounds the devas, the gods, just completely disappears. And that gives the opportunity for the asuras to enter, the demonic things. And of course, in all of these myths, the devas are positive thoughts, the asuras are negative thoughts, and they're always waging a war. So the asuras enter in, this barrier of protection has left, and they immediately begin to wage war. And without the blessing of their teacher, the devas just crumble. And Indra suddenly realizes, oh my God, like I have no power. So he goes and he begs for forgiveness. He seeks out Bṛhaspati. He is humbled and shaken. And then Jupiter teaches him that kingship is not about domination, but it's about humility before wisdom. So this is our Jupiter exaltation myth.
I love it.
Right? It's very nice.
That's very nice.
Anything else we want to say about Jupiter in exaltation, or anything else?
Well, I mean, I'm sure this is a long transit, so we'll have opportunities to kind of check in and reflect on these themes over the next, on and off over the next year plus. Is there anything else we want to say?
This is this transition. We're still in this transition, right at the precipice between summer into fall. So it's a really wonderful time for immune boosting, for gentle cleansing, for staying warm, for staying cozy, for doing all of your nurturing and self-care and wellness practices, like being in your dressing gown with your hood up in your bed, just staying warm and cozy.
That's right. That's probably what I will be doing. But yeah, and let us know if things are expanding. Yeah, and for some people that could be physically with this transit.
Yes.
That's okay. That's nice actually.
It's fine. We like it. We love well, that's it. But there's often videos of like very round children dancing. That's very Jupiter energy.
Yeah, it's kind of like chubby toddler. Yeah, it's like happy, chubby, cheruby toddler vibe. It's so cute. Yes. No, I think we've said enough. We'll come back. We'll reflect more on this in the future.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Shivaya. All right.
All right, we did it. Not our most